In theory, the 500 bhp four-wheel drive 94.1 mpg Peugeot 308R hybrid you see here could be one of the most significant hot hatchbacks in history. It's propelled by a combination of 1.6 litre petrol turbo power and two electric motors, one at the front axle, another at the rear. And according to the engineers at Peugeot Sport, who have spent the last year and a half building it, the 308R hybrid is pretty much ready for production. But as yet, there are two key questions that remain unanswered. One, how much should Peugeot charge for a car that contains this much technology and which has this much raw performance? Peugeot claims a 0 to 62 mph time of under 4 seconds, with a standing kilometre in 22.5 seconds. Two, will the traditional high-end hot hatch customer even be interested in buying a hybrid? This is what we went to the south of France last week to find out, where Peugeot gave us two different 308 hybrids to try. The blue and black one was a show car to demonstrate what the car might look like inside and out. The white one was a full working prototype that we could drive pretty much as hard as we liked. So the 308R hybrid on the move, there is just one of these cars that works properly. The show car, the blue and black one, is just that, it's a show car. But this is the full engineering mule, the one with the full 400 horsepower in hybrid mode and 500 horsepower if you put it in launch mode. I'm in hybrid mode at the moment, which gives you 270 bhp, 330 newton meters of torque. But what it does, the electric motors fill in the gaps for when there's any turbo lag. So that basically you have a 308 GTI but with absolutely no turbo lag whatsoever, which is quite a weird experience. It's got a 6-speed automatic gearbox. So I put my foot down. And it just goes. Actually, there is still maybe just a tiny weeny bit of turbo lag. But it kind of feels like there's a 3 litre V6 atmospheric engine in hybrid mode, because it just goes, and there's the electricity also fills in the gaps when you change gear as well, which is quite cool. It kind of feels like it's a CVT gearbox almost, because the acceleration curve is just, there is no curve, it just goes like that. You go forwards and it doesn't really matter what gear you're in or how many revs are on. Because as soon as you hit the throttle, you get this hit of electricity. Then the electricity goes to just leave you with the petrol engine. It's very clever. It doesn't feel kind of rip-roaringly fast like this, I have to admit. It just feels like a 308 GTI without any lag and with a very, very smooth, fast gearbox. So, what I'm now going to do is press the naughty button, the red button on the steering wheel, which puts it into full hybrid sport mode. And that means you get 270 horsepower from the 1.6 litre petrol turbo, 115 horsepower from the electric motor over the front axle, and another 115 horsepower from the electric motor over the rear axle. It's a bit of a weird one, because if you do the maths on that, it's got more horsepower than they say, but basically it has 400 horsepower in this mode. Whoa! That's outrageous. Oh, that's quick. That's properly quick. And it's more than just quick, it's the response. Oh my word. You've also got all these lovely kind of weird space 1999 noises going on under here, which is the electric motors doing their thing. But it's just the instant and enormous response to the throttle you get. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing 2,000 revs or 3,000 revs or 4,000 revs, that immediate hit of acceleration just comes at you, because it's got nothing to do with the amount of revs on board, it's just the hit of electricity that you get. So I am in 4th gear, doing 2,500 revs, and you get that thump in the back. this is bonkers. Is this the future or is it the present? Whatever it is, it's very addictive. I think I could really, really like this car. Peugeot are kind of umming and erring as to whether they're going to make it or not, whether they're going to put it into production. They're crackers. They should put this thing into production tomorrow. It would take them about a year to fully put it, you know, to productionise it, to make all the interior right, to crash test it and do all that sort of stuff. But my goodness me, they really, really, they really need to make this car. I mean, it's nothing like a conventional hot hatch experience. It's a bit more space age than that, but just the surge of acceleration that you get when you open up the throttle and get that hit from the electric motors, it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Apart from the electric motors, it is a totally conventional 308 GTI, which is, you know, it's a perfectly nice hot hatch. It does feel as if you sit a little bit high. The braking is a little bit weird because you get this regenerative effect. You know, you back off the throttle, which I have done now, and this car is slowing down properly under its own regenerative electrical steam. I'm not doing anything now, we're coming properly to a halt. That's a bit weird as well, so they could maybe do with refining that a touch. Steering's all right, you know, I mean, it just handles like a 308 GTI with an unusually wide track. And there's nothing wrong with that, but oh, I don't know, they've got to make this car, haven't they? They absolutely have to make this car. They don't know how much they charge for it, and they don't know if they do put it into production how many they should make. I think what they should do is put it into full production, make it in the thousands, not in the hundreds, and charge really sort of high-end Focus RS, Audi RS3 money, because I can see people looking at an RS3 or even a Focus RS and going, I'm only getting 350 horsepower there. What I really want is a 500 horsepower hybrid hot hatch. Wouldn't you? Listen to that. That is cool. I don't know if you ever watch endurance racing, but it sounds absolutely like an endurance racing car when it's accelerating, because you don't really hear the engine at all. All you hear is just this, well, apart from that massive, great big vibration from the rear tailgate, all you hear is the electric motors and the kind of batteries and all the electric bits just kind of priming themselves. This thing's brilliant. I love it. So should they build the 308R Hybrid? Yes, they should. The price that Peugeot sports engineers finally admitted to was around the 70 to 80,000 euro mark. So let's call it about 45 to 50,000 pounds in sterling. Now that's a major amount of money to be charging for a Peugeot, true, but then the 308R Hybrid is an awful lot of car. Not just different for the sake of it, but different in a way that takes the hot hatch game to a new level, a new part of the playing field. The world of high performance cars would be richer if they made the right decision with this car, no question. Now all they need to do is make that decision and not look back. Click on the video windows to watch a track battle between the Honda Civic Type R and its key rivals, or watch our first drive of the new Audi RS3. Click on the play icon for our latest video, or on our logo to subscribe to our channel.